Good afternoon and welcome back to another video. How are we all doing? All good, I hope? So today's video, I'm addressing an issue that I've had for quite a while with my Surron, and it's another relentless set of bearings. If you haven't seen my last bearing video, go back and watch that. In that video we replaced the jack shaft bearings. In this video we're going to be replacing the head tube bearings. Nice and simple. There's two bearings to get to, one at the top, one at the bottom. Should be a nice simple job. And that's famous last words, got an absolute fucking nightmare yet again. But yeah, basically my Surron is a 2021 Surron, and since I've owned it I've definitely put the bike through its paces, and it would appear that none of the bearings on this bike had ever been touched, and it was really starting to take a toll. But with the jack shaft bearings, the back end just didn't even feel connected to the bike. There was so much play in it, there's so much wobble, and now I've got exactly the same with the head tube bearings as well. Turning corners, it doesn't even feel like the front end's even connected to the bike. And with the upgraded 72-volt battery, I'm wheeling this thing at speed, and when that front wheel comes down, it literally feels like it's going to dislodge from the bike. So they're well overdue, so let's jump straight into it. Sorry? Okay. Yeah, and why is that? I don't think it's illegal. I've got the landowner's permission. Yeah. Yep, I know him personally, yep. It's not a motorbike, it's an electric bike. It's deadly silent, and I haven't come across any wildlife, any dogs or any people, nothing. So I don't know who I'm disturbing. For what? For riding my quiet electric bike on my own with no one else around in a field that I've got permission to ride in? Look, I'm being completely respectful. I've got permission to ride here. I didn't have to come and talk to you, but I've done nothing wrong. Look, I'm not going to get into an argument about it. What's the point? You're just wasting everyone's time. Okay. Call the police. That's absolutely fine. No worries. Yeah, you have a good day. All right. Thank you. Oh, just another day in the life of a Surron owner in the UK. I get that people don't like these, and I generally think it's because people don't understand them. You don't see many of them, and when you do see one for the first time, they're quite intimidating. You know, I'm turning up with a helmet on, you can't see my face, I get that completely. But what I really disagree with is when people get aggressive about it. Like coming straight over to me saying, you're not allowed to be here, you're breaking the law, I'm calling the police. Why? Like, let's have a conversation first, and then we can determine whether I'm breaking the law or being antisocial. I try to be as respectful as possible, but sometimes it's really difficult when people just jump straight on it. It's really difficult when people just tarnish you straight away with that brush of, clearly I'm up to no good. And it's always in those situations as well where I wish I'd just challenge them a little bit further. It's as soon as when you come away you think of a load more things to say to them, but maybe we should have pursued that one. I do know the landowner, I do have his permission just to ride through that. It's literally less than a quarter of a mile section of field that you can cut through to get to the next village. I've known the guy for years. So yeah, maybe we should have called her out on that. Maybe we should have waited for the police to turn up. Maybe we should have then got Henry, the landowner, down. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be a complete waste of everybody's time. So it's just not worth it. What's that? It is, yeah, it is.
Oh, cool. So you take it off-road, do you? Sort of
like yeah.
A little bit of...
Yeah, it's not road legal, so mainly off-road, sort of where you've got owners, landowners' permission and stuff like that. But yeah, it's great fun.
Pass, things like that, I suppose.
Yeah. Most people are okay with it. I suppose technically you're not allowed, but it depends who you come across. Some people love it.
Grey area, sort of,
it is, yeah. Some people like yourself love it and want to know about it. Other people see a helmet and want to shout at me. So
right, I suppose you don't have to wear a helmet. You could wear a cycle helmet.
You could do. I mean, it's pretty far. It does about 70 mile an hour. So
Oh, does it really?
yeah, it's got quite a few upgrades on it. So
Yeah.
I like. So you can't even write that. So as you saw there, I'm riding down a closed road. Obviously that's why there's people jogging up it, because there's no cars down here at all. And I ride past the guy, just said a little morning, how we doing? And carried on riding, and I heard some shouting. So I looked around and the guy had stopped in the road, and I was kind of getting ready for yet again another confrontation, another argument. And so I rode back to him just to see what he wanted, and like you saw on the camera there, such a nice bloke. Just wanted to know about the bike. You know, he's got an interest in bikes as well. He does a lot of road cycling, he was telling me. You know, not a particularly young guy, but can actually appreciate that electric is going to be the future. And it just goes to show, you know, I don't know what it's like in other countries like the US and Canada, Australia and places like that, but in the UK, these things cause such a 50-50 divide. I would say both of those encounters I saw today, Karen, who screamed and shouted at me and wanted to call the police, was probably younger than the guy that I've just had the conversation with. The older gentleman from an older generation had nothing but respect and just wanted a decent conversation about the bike. It's just such a mixed feeling about these in the UK. But I love interactions like that. I love it when people are intrigued about the bike. You know, it's my hobby, it's my passion, and I love this thing. And I love it when people are intrigued and want to ask questions about it. But yeah, 2 encounters in one video, you just can't write stuff like that. Anyway, moving back onto the topic of these head tube bearings. So finally that job is done. I completely failed you in this video though, because started filming the process. Top bearing, absolutely no problem whatsoever. Literally came out of my hand, piece of cake. The bottom bearing just absolutely seized on to the fork. I don't know if it's because that bearing's been on there since it came out of the factory. It's probably never been greased, never been lubed, it's never been taken off. It's just absolutely welded to the forks, but we got it off. I did have to use an angle grinder for this. And I know there's a ton of people in the comments being like, what are you doing? Just heat it up, just use a flathead screwdriver. I put the story up on my Instagram and I had so many people messaging me saying that. But no matter what I done, no matter how hard I hit that thing, it just was not coming off, so I had to resort to an angle grinder. I didn't film the process because it was just an absolute nightmare for me. But basically I had to grind the bearing down to the tube of the forks, made it weak enough to then be able to get a flathead screwdriver in, break the bearing off, and yeah, absolutely fine. Putting the new bearings in, again, I didn't really film it, it was quite straightforward, but at this point I'd sort of lost the will to live. But it's a very straightforward process, one in the top, one back in the bottom, clamp and bolt everything back together, and the bike feels literally brand new again. I can actually turn the bars and the bike turns where I want it to turn. I can pop a wheelie and it doesn't feel like the front wheel's just going to collapse and fall off the bike. Yeah, nice, huge improvement, feels good. I do always have this little worry though every time I work on the bike, especially taking major things off like swing arms and forks. It's whether I've actually done them back up again and done them tight enough. Anyway guys, we're going to finish the video there. Hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have enjoyed watching, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. New videos dropping every single week. But yeah, cheers guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.